And we are back after a short commercial break. So, Arctic, I think it's safe to say that from our match 1, we have a lot of good local talents. But right now, let's move on to our match 2 in the schedule. 3:30 p.m. we have our match 2 followed by 5 p.m. our match 3. But before everything else, Arctic, I think we should introduce ourselves. My name is Vulcan. With me is Arctic. I can say your name. We will be your shoutcasters entering our match 2 of the Valor Cup quarterfinals.
Yeah, and grabe. After seeing that match 1 earlier, I mean, Brent Esports, they definitely lived up to expectation, but Vulcan heading into this match 2 right here, we have yet another team that a lot of teams have been talking about as a team to beat here in the Philippines, Clutch Guild, as they're going to be taking on Myth Esports. So I'm wondering, Myth Esports, can they live up to the challenge? Because a lot of people have been talking about Clutch Guild for quite a number of weeks as we head into all these different tournaments happening in the Philippines. So,
as I recall, some of the games of Clutch Guild, yes, is that correct? So, their games have been short, and not just that, pretty much a stomp. So, let's see. Myth Esports looks like they have a huge obstacle to climb. This is the quarterfinals Arctic Best of 3 series. So, we'll know in game 1. But to our challengers who are just tuning in, so if you missed our match 1, we did have a winner. It would be Brent Esports. Moving on. And for challengers who are not yet aware of our promo right now, we do have our level 3 Arcana chest codes. We will show that in game. But after every match, stay tuned. Because after every match, to those players who wants to get skins and new heroes, we will show you codes after every match. Not every game, but every match.
Yeah, just a little bit of an incentive for all our challengers out there that really want to get into this game. I mean, we've seen, like me and Vulcan have been mentioning, there's a lot of talent right there, and I'm pretty confident that this isn't the only pool of players that we'll be seeing there. I'm pretty sure that some of the viewers out there, we might actually be seeing some people that might realize they have the knack for Arena Valor, become potential semi-pro to professional talent, so looking forward to it.
I mean, the fact that we are already at our quarterfinals of our Valor Cup, the first round right now for the Philippines, I would say we have a lot of good talents here showing up in this cup. So, let's see. Clutch Guild. You did say that they're one of the strongest teams entering this. It's like you were very sure when you said that, Arctic.
Yeah, I'm personally, because I actually got to cast a few of their games at a different tournament, and I was very vocal about how I've become such a fan of how clean they manage to play out their games. But let's go ahead and see, though. I mean, like I've mentioned, there's a lot of rising talent. Let's see if Myth Esports can rise up to the challenge.
Let's see. This will be our first game of our match 2 of Clutch Guild versus Myth Esports. Right off the bat, again, the same pattern we saw. Oh, again, Arctic, looks like we will enjoy ourselves in our game 1 because, again, we are seeing a Zenial, we're seeing a Malak, and a Lubu.
I'm having flashbacks of, having a bit of a flashback here, Vulcan, but man, I would love to see Clutch Guild locked in the... Okay, so I was about to say I would have loved to have seen a Zenial and Alice combo, but looks like they will be settling with a Lumber. Still a very powerful pick that they can utilize to complement what they have drafted so far. Very standard draft here that I'm seeing from Myth Esports there on the other hand.
And so far, looks like we did say that Zenial, one of the heroes at this point, entering our quarterfinals, one of the most picked heroes and prioritized the most. But normally we would see rotations to the red side. They'll get the Malak and the Lubu. Strong initiators, Arctic. So, I think we'll wrap it up here. Ooh, another Gina plus Atalanas.
Yeah. A lot of my players here, they're loving some Jinna as of these recent games. So let's go ahead and see.
Did you see that Omar being picked up here?
Yeah, you know how much I'm a big Omar player myself. So let's go ahead.
You did play Omar a lot. I did see that in your games. It's not just that because he is one of the buff champions. He's suave looking, but it's the fact that he's a great disabler. Not to mention also one of the champions who can deal continuous damage with his ultimate.
Yeah, and stuns like there's no tomorrow if you're able to get the upper hand in those percentage of chance. So let's go ahead and see how that ultimately goes down. Really looking forward to this game here. Like I mentioned, Clutch Guild have pretty much made a name for themselves in the Philippine esports industry as far as Arena of Valor goes. But then again, you can't discount all these other teams that are coming up to the rise of Arena of Valor here in the Philippines. So let's see what challenge awaits us as we head into this match right here.
Let's head on to the battlefield, Arctic, of our match 2. Again, Clutch Guild, as we did pick, and as Arctic kind of hyped in a way, guys, one of the strong teams entering the Valor Cup was Myth Esports, one of the new teams. Their old team name was Fear the Fearless, so if you are fans of that team, this is their changed name here. But what I want to look out for in this game is all about early pressure. You gotta use that Malik and Lubu to optimum.
And looking at things here, though, let's go ahead and talk about these compositions here, because liking both sides, I'd actually lean a little bit more towards Clutch Guild, just because it's a bit more well-rounded. They have, I mean, if you're going to look at the kit of Myth Esports, it's pretty much physical damage across the board.
A great art there.
You're not going to be seeing any mages dish out for them, so that could be a little bit of a problem in the later parts once armor is built up by the more tankier members. But yeah, across the board here at the same time, for Clutch Guild, as far as the team fights, really looking forward to how this works out here. There's a lot of protection in the form of Senior as well as the Lumber to keep the members of MYT at bay, not to mention we have seen the power of a Jinna earlier. Once he goes in, if ever you can't take him down right off the bat, he's just going to deal constant ability power right there.
His Nirvana itself, the ultimate, just deals so much damage, Arctic. You got to remove him immediately. You see him closing in, back up. You got to respect the Jinna with the items locked in. But at this point, it's early, but we won't see any aggression across the map like we saw in our match 1. But now moving into match 2, two different teams here. I mean, Clutch Guild Gaming, you did say that the one of the strong teams entering this quarterfinals, but Myth Esports, let's see what they can show us, Arctic, because quarterfinals again, a lot at stake here.
Yeah, meanwhile, looking in a little bit deeper, I mean, we mentioned the Jinna, not only just the Jinna, but you also have to take into account Tel-Anas, another one of the heroes that was recently released in the Philippines and has risen to quite the prominence. I've been seeing a lot of victories on this Tel-Anas recently, but looks like, are we going to be seeing a fight though?
Ooh, close call there. Looks like Kirknut wanted some kills, but it'll be Lombard just getting away from the fight. He does not want to commit, so I wonder, can they go for a mid lane fight here? That will be first blood at stake here. Which team will get the first blood? Looks like Clutch Gaming Guild will try to back up the fight, but Myth Esports, they will not back off. They will take away the first blood. And why stop there? They're picking this Spirit Sentinel.
Yeah, great pickoff right there coming in from MYT, not really needing to worry about until Honest was lingering towards the bot side, so didn't have to worry about any damage coming in from the backline. It was just straight up whoever was in the front of Clutch Guild, they were able to get that one kill, so a good small build up right there. They did transition that into a Spirit Sentinel, so not bad at trade for MYT.
And at this point, we're seeing that maybe the start for Myth Esports to ramp things up. But for Clutch Guild, they're not yet out of the game. CG and MYT, there will be a point where in this game, it's all about execution, Arctic. I mean, you get that composition. Myth Esports, they have the strong tools to initiate. But for CG, at least they have the ability power. That could be something you could peg on because we are seeing more AD based on the Myth Esports side. So it'll be easier for maybe Jinna to go into the fight. But looks like that'll be a collapse to the bot lane with Malak leading in charge. But it'll be Zena going in with a lead with knocking back one member there from Myth Esports. Looks like CG will get the revenge from the mid lane with a double kill.
Yeah, it's a double kill going to the Zephyrus. That is not under any circumstances a hero you want to give that double kill to.
Yeah.
And that was so unfortunate for MYT. They were so clumped together that it just allowed the Senior to knock up that group right into the air for the chase in. So a good recovery coming here from CG, pretty much balanced out once again.
And not just that, it was the fact that Zephyrus, he has his ultimate Death from Above to just quickly close in the gap. So for Myth Esports, I like how they were moving as a group, moving as a squad, but you gotta respect the engages coming from this Zenial and Zephyrus.
And man, let's go ahead and check out what MYT has working in their kit though. I mean, like I mentioned, there's a lot of physical damage coming off across the board. I'm kind of interested in seeing what Slapstick is going to be going for as far as this build on the Cricknack, because there's a little bit of versatility that players have exhibited with this particular hero. You could go full damage, you could build them a little bit more beefier and just rely on the heavier stacks of damage along with the percent. Ooh, okay.
You gotta respect the tower, but they don't care. They will go towards it. Looks like Lubo with a red stat and will make it out alive. But Seniel, what? A close escape that was, but in the end, looks like the dive will be in favor of MYT Esports. And that chaos in the top lane, looks like we're seeing the members of CG getting this early Abyssal Dragon. That will be going down without any contest.
Yeah, that was a good call coming in from CG, though.
Wow, they might start a fight here. Death Row will set things up for CG, but MYT, they'll fight back, but they cannot. They are so clumped up together in favor of CG's composition. They retreat back to the tower, but I don't think it's over just yet. We're seeing Burst going in from the bush, but he will not. Yes, he will not engage onto CG.
Yeah, but did you see that, Vulcan? Upon seeing the members of MYT going full collapse towards the top side, they immediately go for the trade for the Abyssal Dragon, knowing very well that they had the numbers to work on that. Even with the presence of, I think that was Burst, if I'm not mistaken, that was lingering there. Couldn't really contest it. So, not overall, still a pretty balanced trade. We are seeing a tad bit of a lead for MYT. Nothing particularly significant, though. This is something that CG can still pretty much manage and deal with.
But for CG, they have to ramp things up here. I mean, especially for MYT, they can't go to the late game because we do see a lot of late scaling champions on the side of CG. But same goes for MYT. They have the Joker to rely on. But it's more on the fact that as fight goes on, CG, they have more tools. They have the Xennial for the heal. So I'm pretty worried for MYT unless they can establish a very solid lead.
Meanwhile, looks like MYT, they are looking to linger around this bottom side, and I think that's something that would be of a plus. Abyssal Dragon will be up again in 30 seconds. Under any circumstances, MYT, they probably don't want to allow CG to play around this objective anymore, because even though, as we've seen...
Oh, that'll be the setup. Oh, that'll be Tana's backing away. He's really being focused by the Krignag. Low on health. Xennial comes in with the save. Now CG will fight back against MYT. They have to back up. They underestimated the respawn coming from CG.
Yeah, that was pretty well played out there by CG. Not even a single casualty on their side.
You gotta respect that Xennial, man.
Yeah, the Xennial plus the power of a free hitting tail on is like there's no tomorrow. Just pretty makes a good compliment. Lomi here, trying to split out this top side, will get that as a small consolation.
It's actually worth for them at least. At this point, they gotta get more control of their top side. I mean, Lubu, as a champion itself, can really be a hard pusher, but for CG, they're going more on team fights.
Yeah, and I think the tricky part here is that even though MYT was able to get a second tier turret towards top side, as far as priorities go, I think what they really don't want to be giving up to CG constantly is this Abyssal Dragon, which is why I feel it would have definitely been a bit more of a better benefit to have pushed out bot side towards top side. But then again, what can you do? That is how CG has been maneuvering across the map. So there's only so much that MYT can do based off what their opponent's positioning is on the entire battlefield.
And right now, it looks like Black was trying to go for the engage onto the Joker. But we are seeing the map right now. What's this? MYT members, they got Spirit Central. Will they get away in time here? But looks like another engage by CG. Xena comes in with a heal and the damage reduction. Looks like Slapstick and Kid running for the hills. But Lomi, he cannot re-engage. He's very cautious. He goes in with the Red Stallion, but into his death perhaps. He's still a bit healthy. He's still trying to survive him. The towers are still really healthy and strong. Looks like Lomi will try to recall out there. Red Stallion will let him escape.
Yeah, but CG, they are grouped up right now. It looks like they are going to go for the shove up here towards top. Not really sure if they might transition into Dark Slayer. Might be a little bit into early, but I think they do have the potential. They will instead, though, go for that second tier turret amidst Burst trading off towards the spot side. But looks like XDD going to respond to make sure that that isn't another turret taken down from CG.
This is what you do when you see the members of CG clumping up together as a squad, going for really powerful team fights, split it up with a split push in the bot. We saw it in the top, giving them at least 4 turrets in their underhands, but we're seeing CG getting 3 turrets. At this point, it's that mid lane that remains for CG to try and take control. But looks like that will be Malak going in here. That's going to be 3v4. He does not survive. There's a 2-man knockdown by the Malak. That will be the re-engage coming in from MYT. But CG, they will not commit. They will try and back away with Xennial not really having any second thoughts of going back into the fight.
Yeah, XDD bringing in the heals to make sure that CG survives that. Ben, unfortunately, is down as of the moment, but still could have gone worse.
What's Lomi trying to do here? Just poking damage, but in the end, he's just still so squishy. But to our challenger still watching the broadcast, here is the code for the Arcana chest. But I think things are about to get excited here. Looks like the Abyssal Dragon again. Looks like MYT already taking the control. I don't think this will go down.
Yes, finally MYT able to get a hold of that Abyssal Dragon, pretty much evens out the scoreboard amidst kills, tilting towards the favor of CG. Looks like we will see a fight though.
Looks like that missed there. MYT, they're split up here in the map here, but with the ultimate from Malak a bit off there. Looks like Zenial will come in to help. Oh, looks like you gotta respect Talanas with a Zenial combo. You will not survive unless the team is committed to into the fight.
Yup, CG, they're not going to allow anybody to get on that Talanas, and that's just the beauty of what they're working with here right now. Until such time, MYT, I don't know, maybe they could go for a flank, potentially just straight off, catch CG in a group position wherein they overwhelm them with what utility, what CC that they have, but that's a little bit of a tricky scenario for them.
Malak overstepping a bit here. Oh, look at that two-man knockoff. That will set everything for CG. I mean, they got the objectives, and now they will push this mid lane.
Yeah, MYT, they are starting to crumble a little bit. CG, they're getting so much value out of this in
Too
exchange.
much value.
And look at that. There's just no hesitation from CG. All of the members going straight for the front line, with LYL hitting from the back.
Look at that Nirvana by Ben with a Jenna. Really fearless going into the middle of the fight. Looks like the core is exposed and the members of MYT cannot respond because they just get picked up one after another. Looks like we have our victor for our first game of our match 2.
Yes, Clutch Guild gonna take that in an amazing fashion against MYT. That was impressive. I mean, after that mid lane siege, it just went all the way. First tier, second tier, third tier, finish.
It was the pickups in the mid lane that set everything up for Clutch Gaming Guild. So I gotta hand it to CG. Really, as you said, Arctic, you were a fan there, not just from how they played, but it just goes to show their skill level entering our quarterfinals. But here are the battle stats, so that you guys have an overview of the game.
That was a good demonstration right there from Clutch Guild, just milling through, not allowing any opportunity for MYT to at least try to defend. And I think that was a tad bit of a complication right there. I mean, there was a lot of damage across the board coming in from Myth Esports. It's just that as far as what else they can work with, that's what I was saying earlier on, wherein I favored Clutch Guild a little bit more because of how well-rounded they were. They had a balance of physical damage, they had the ability damage, they also, or the magic damage rather, as well as not just the damage, but also the utility to complement that, to make sure that the damage keeps rolling on in the team fights.
We saw the John and the Zenial, but right now, I think our challengers, they did see the result of our first game, and now we will be moving on to our second game after a short break. So we have been the Shoutcasters. My name is Vulcan. With me was Arctic. After the short break, we will continue the best of 3 series of our match 2.